saw after you had agreed to terms a report that said that you wanted New York. What is it, in your vision? What is it about New York that you wanted, and how do you see that?
Yeah, I think just looking at the team, I feel like we have a lot of good pieces on the team, a lot of good pieces on the roster, and that was really exciting for me to come in and be able to contribute to that. Just looking up and down the roster, I really felt good about the level of talent that we have on the roster, so that was big for me.
Have anything to do with the city itself, though?
I mean, the city obviously it brings so much. There's so much to enjoy from the fans, the fan base. Obviously, I played with Bobby in college, and he's only said good things. So it was just kind of a combination of all those things, the city, but then ultimately just being excited about this football team and the level of talent I think that we have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Dunleavy.
Paulson, welcome. Thanks for doing this.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Did you have anything to do with Javon Holland? Like after you agreed, do you know him? Did you get on the phone with him? Did you start recruiting him and saying like, hey, let's build a great secondary?
Nah, I didn't have anything to do with that. I know of Javon, played against him in the Pac-12 when he was at Oregon, and he's a great player. Followed him throughout his career, so that was really exciting to see that he was going to be coming as well. Just seeing him, we've always kind of communicated on the phone and stuff, Instagram. So yeah, that was cool to see that he was going to be here too.
And how about schematically? Everything I read about you in New Orleans was a lockdown, like man cover corner. Obviously, the Giants played a lot of zone under Shane Bowen last year. How's that schematic fit?
Yeah, I feel like I can play man or zone. It happened that in New Orleans we did play a lot of man, bump and run coverage. But I feel comfortable playing in a zone scheme. Did that in college a lot. So yeah, I really feel good either way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dan Duggan.
Hey, Paulson, welcome.
Hey, how you doing, Dan?
I'm doing well. Curious, how are you doing? Where are you at in your recovery from the broken femur?
Yeah, I'm doing really good, man. I've been running, been sprinting, changing directions, doing everything, and just really practicing to be able to be ready when all the activities start.
So you think you'll be ready for the spring?
Pretty much. I mean, I've been doing everything, changing directions and stuff, so just kind of taking it day by day, but feel really positive about that.
And last thing on that, what was it like going into free agency with that? Were you worried it would hurt your market? How were you able to maybe convince teams that, like, I'll be fine? Because obviously they can't bring you for the physical until today.
I mean, just putting out videos and communicating between my training staff and the different teams and stuff, but felt really comfortable. And, I mean, obviously I feel like I've been in a good spot for the past couple months, really, so I wasn't too worried about that, causing any disruptions.
Backflips probably convinced teams you were good.
You know what I mean? I feel like that was just a little cherry on the top, for sure.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Paul Schwartz.
Hey, Paulson, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Paul?
Good, very good. Your numbers would suggest that you are a ball hawk. Would you agree with that description of you?
Yeah, I think for me, catching interceptions, making plays on the ball is very important to be able to give the offense the ball back. So that's something that I definitely pride myself on, something I really practice as far as getting my head around, even just catching jugs in practice, trying to catch as many balls as possible because I just know how impactful that can be for a team and to help the team win.
You're coming to a team that was very poor, second to last in the league in interceptions. So was that a point of emphasis when they were talking to you about bringing that? And what is the key to being that? It's easy to say you're a ball hawk. What is the key to that?
I think you just have to practice and visualize that. That way you're not surprised when the ball's in the air, right? So you kind of turn into the receiver. A lot of times it's easy to kind of be shocked that the ball's coming to you. So first off, just expecting the ball to come to you, and then when you have an opportunity to make a play, really just capitalizing on it.
And did they stress that that's something they really wanted out of you?
Yeah, they just kind of highlighted the ball production and emphasized that's something that's good and we want to have on the defense.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Art Stapleton.
Hey, Paulson, how you doing, man? Congratulations.
Hey, how you doing, Art?
Good. I wanted to go back. Obviously, I don't know if you want to go back, but you get injured. You're have off to a great start this year. You know how big of a season you probably looked at that. You're a young guy. You're building towards that first big year. How much did you learn about yourself over the next couple months? Mentally, did you get any advice from guys that have been in the league? Just the idea of how do you reset and refocus to get an opportunity like this and to prove that you will get back to where you were as an ascending player.
Yeah, definitely dealing with injuries. Every player has to deal with it, right? Nobody wants to go through an injury, but the reality of the situation, you play a game, and there's 100% injury risk playing football. So I think for everybody, it's just realizing the moment, realizing that you will get back from it, and then just shifting your focus from whether you're preparing for a game and now your game really becoming just recovering your body. So that's kind of what I shifted my focus on.
The other thing would be just in terms of a mentality or a mindset. Have you always been a guy who wants to get up there, press, and say you can't beat me at the line of scrimmage?
Yeah, I think just pressing, it makes it hard on the receivers. If you can disrupt their timing, disrupt the timing of the routes. So I've always just kind of been in that mode a little bit, but at the same time have played in zone schemes, have played in all different types of schemes, so I don't think I'm one-dimensional, but I definitely do like to press people.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Evan Barnes.
Hey, Paulson, how's it going?
How you doing, Evan?
Good, good. You looked at this Giants team, obviously they're a young defense. They've got a lot of young pieces, obviously. You and Javon are both young guys, too. Was that something that attracted you joining a young defense that can possibly grow together under, second-year defensive coordinator?
Yeah, man, just looking at the defense as a whole, like I said, I think there's a lot of talent up and down the roster, and a lot of youth as well. And so I think that was just exciting to kind of come into and be able to add to that.
It's a follow-up on that question. Obviously, you mentioned you obviously went to college with Bobby. What is that relationship like with you and him?
Yeah, it's really good, man. Bobby's like he was like my OG when I came in to Stanford. So we got a real good relationship. We hang out. We talk football, talk about ways to better ourselves on the field. So that was a good relationship for me to have to coming into this organization.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Pat Leonard.
Hey, Paulson, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, Pat?
Doing well, man, thanks. When you were talking about signing here, and now that you're a Giant, what have you learned about, or what would you like to see them do at quarterback? Because obviously, interesting signing with a team that is still chasing its starting QB. So whether it's Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, I know you're on the other side of the ball, but you had to be interested in what was going to happen. So what do you think is going to happen? What would you like to see happen?
Yeah, for me, I just kind of focus on getting myself acquainted with the team. Just got here, figuring out how I can help the team, and then I'll let whoever has to make those decisions handle those. But I'm excited and confident that we'll make a good decision.
Thanks.
Yep.
We'll take three more. Patty Trina.
Hey, Paulson, how are you?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. I have a couple for you, if I could. Playing off the previous question about the youth in the room, you're probably more experienced or the most experienced guy coming in. Can you just talk a little bit about the idea of being a leader in that group, even though you're a newcomer?
Yeah, absolutely. I think anytime you can come in and bring experience, that's great. And so I have some experience. And so if there's something that I know, and I'll be very willing to be able to share that knowledge and share that wisdom, and at the same time be willing to learn, coming into a new organization, see how things are done and adapt accordingly.
And then my other question is you mentioned you played in various schemes, but every scheme has little tweaks and differences and nuances. What is it about the Giants scheme that you think complements what you do well?
Yeah, I think just being able to find the ball in the air, having eyes on the quarterback, challenging receivers. I think it all will be able to complement my game, and I also think that my game can translate to multiple different schemes. So I think that was really good for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Charlotte Carroll.
Hey, Paulson, nice to meet you.
Hey, how are you doing, Charlotte?
Good. How familiar are you with Tay Banks, and what do you know about his game?
Yeah, I know he's a really, big, fast, strong, physical corner. I like a lot of things that he does, very explosive, very athletic. And so I'm happy to be able to come in and work with him.
I know you kind of were just getting here, but have you talked to him, or has he reached out to you yet?
Yeah, as soon as I I reached out to him, got his number, got in contact with him, so I'm excited to be able to play with him.
And then just last one too. You guys have a new secondary kind of coaching staff and a new CB coach. How familiar are you with them, and what appeals to them about you?
Yeah, I just met them, so found out probably 2 days ago. But I'm excited to work with them, and I know they got a lot of good history and a lot of experience coming from the two of them.
Last one, Jordan Renan.
Hey, Paulson, welcome, man. Appreciate it. Give me the time.
How you doing, brother?
Good. Obviously, with a big contract comes a lot of expectations and responsibility. I'm curious what you think of of basically being looked at now as a number one cornerback, and hey, your job is to be the shutdown guy.
Yeah, absolutely. I embrace it. That's why they brought me in here. That's how I viewed myself, since I got into the league. So it's cool if other people view you that way, but at the end of the day, it's about how you view yourself, and at the end of the day, it's about producing. So I'm ready to come in and work and get to work with that. Yep.
Is that kind of the thing that maybe was tough last year, like when Marshawn was, gone? Like that was your opportunity to show that you're that guy, and that kind of the injury kind of happened there.
Honestly, I feel like there's two corners on the field. Obviously, we get into the CB1 role, but it's really just winning your matchup. You know what I mean? And so I feel like I've always had that mentality to win my matchup regardless of who I'm lined up against, and taking on, we didn't travel necessarily all the time in New Orleans, you know what I mean? So a lot of times you do end up on the number one guy, and you just have to produce. So in different schemes maybe where it was like, oh, there's always one person following, there's probably bigger in that, but for me, I've always viewed myself as being able to go up against anybody.